Well, good morning, guys. Welcome to Wake Up Well. It's a pleasure to get to be with you and share this morning. We are on our last day of reflecting on this first beatitude. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. My goodness, the fact that the kingdom of heaven is even on offer to us, it's crazy. It's so good. God actually wants us to step into the kingdom of heaven, and He gives us the gateway. He gives us the direction. He gives us the key, and it is humility. It's being poor in spirit. It's being in that place of recognition. I do not have what it takes, and I need you, Jesus. You are everything. You're the one. You are the King, and it's through you, in you, by you that we get to come into the kingdom of heaven. I have nothing of my own ability, but you actually want me to come in. And humility, it's this posture of heart, it's the key. And this morning, we're just going to quickly look at 2 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 7 to 10. Just the context very quickly. So Paul, the Apostle Paul, is speaking about, he's saying he's had these like beyond profound visions and revelations from the Lord. These experiences where he literally got caught up to the point that he doesn't even know whether it was in the body or out of the body, but he's got caught up into heaven, into paradise, and he's seen things, and it says he heard things, inexpressible things that no man is permitted to tell. I mean, just let's stop right there for just one moment. It's very easy to look at Paul and think, my goodness, he was a special guy. God had a special plan for him. And it's true. But here is the incredibly good news for you and me this morning. God actually wants us to be able to experience him in ways beyond we could imagine or comprehend. Jesus prayed for us as his disciples that we would be with him where he is and see his glory. That's a prayer that Jesus prayed for you and me as followers of Jesus. So I want to encourage you today, as we step into this new season that we're in, I know it in the Spirit, he is inviting us afresh. Jesus has prayed it for us. And I tell you what, if anyone on the face of the planet has their prayers answered, it's Jesus. We can't make this stuff happen, but we can position ourselves. We can get hungry. We can desire these things. And God, I'm telling you, is going to start catching us up into visions and revelations like we've never known before. Come on, this is what we're after. He wants it for us. In the midst of that, Paul then says, he says in verse 7, in order to keep me from being conceited because of these visions and revelations, I was given a thorn in my flesh, a messenger of Satan to torment me. Now, loads of people have suggested what this might be. I just want to say it doesn't really matter what it is. It was something which was a thorn in the flesh, something which was incredibly challenging and difficult to Paul, to the point that it says 3 times I pleaded with the Lord to take it away from me. But the Lord said to him, and this isn't really what Paul wanted to hear, but this is what he needed to hear, and this is what you and me need to hear today. My grace, says God, is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. In other words, poor in spirit, that posture of our hearts, that humility to say, I don't have what it takes. I utterly need you. If you don't show up, I'm dead. There's nothing. Poor in spirit, that posture of heart is actually the landing pad for the power of God. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. Therefore, says Paul, I will boast all the more gladly about my weaknesses, so that Christ's power may rest on me. Friends, if we find ourselves in places with challenges and difficulties, rather than, we don't belittle the challenges of life, but in the midst of it, it actually brings us to a place where we say, you know what, God, if you don't turn up in the midst of this, I have nothing. I can't do this. But out of that place of humility, it actually creates a place where God chooses to allow his power to rest upon us so that the world can see that it's his power in us and it's not our special abilities in and of ourselves, but that it's him. That's why, for Christ's sake, says Paul, I delight in weaknesses and insults and hardships and persecutions and difficulties. For when I am weak, then I am strong. Let's just give today to him, and Father, we thank you. We thank you. Oh, we thank you for your presence. We thank you that you want us to encounter you. We thank you that you want us to be with you where you are seated at the right hand of the Father. We thank you that you want us to see your glory. But we also recognize that with that, and the way to having your power remaining upon us is that place of recognizing that we don't have what it takes. And Jesus, we choose today, would you help us to see things from a different perspective, to recognize our weaknesses are actually precisely the place where you want to rest in upon us. That it is good news and hope to a world that's walking in pain, to see that we ourselves can walk through trials and challenges and difficulties, but it's precisely in that place that you are all that we need. So we give ourselves to you afresh today. Come consume us, come catch us up, and keep us in that place. Keep us in that place of being poor in spirit and humble before you. Beautiful, humble King Jesus. We love you.